dokie. So in the little Barina, I think it's a 2014. I'll double check that and let you know. Anyway, we're replacing the head unit. Okay, we're going to put an Android based model in there with the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and obviously touchscreen, navigation, reverse camera, all that sort of thing. Okay, so I'll show you what's in the pack. Actually, this one here I've bought in 2 sets. They didn't have a reasonably priced kit, so I've bought the fascia, which comes with the wiring harness separate to the Android head unit itself. Alrighty, so I'll flip you around and show you what's going on. So if you have this model head unit, all right, first thing we want to do, turn it on, make sure there's no disc inserted. Okay, and this is our fascia. All right, so that's going to replace that. You can see we have to bring our aircon vents through, and they'll just clip into the back of this. Others screw depending on the model. All right, you can see here where the tabs are going to be. Okay, and how it all pulls apart. So that's just going to clip back in there later on. Okay, so the fascia comes with this wiring kit here, which has the factory. So that's a CAN. This little box here is a CAN communication. Okay, so that means that it'll display on the dash what radio station or whatever you're listening to, if the car has that function in the first place. It has the antenna connection. All right, let's open it up. It's all open. So this little plug here is a USB plug. Okay, I don't think this car's actually got USB, but some of them have USB sockets around, and depending on the model of the unit, as to what the connection is on the unit. So this actually has, so that end there plugs onto the back of the head unit, and this end here is a USB type B, I think. Okay, so this is our new antenna. Okay, so this end goes into the new head unit. That's the Farkler type connection, which goes to the factory antenna. Okay, that's the little decoder box. All right, and then this, so that our factory harness plugs into there, and then this all goes to our new head unit. So we've got our main power and speaker wires. Okay, and then we have other connections as well. So some of them have multiple connections depending on the unit. I'm not sure exactly what the story is here until I get back in the other side. These ones here are auxiliary in. Okay, I'm not 100% sure what that is, but yeah, we'll work it all out in a sec. All right, but yeah, pretty comprehensive. So that's just the fascia kit, and this here is our Android CarPlay radio kit. Okay, so it comes with brackets to mount into the fascia if it's just a standard radio installation. This is equivalent of a double DIN and then some. Okay, so I think it's 9-inch from memory. So anyway, these are screws, and this is the other wiring kit. Now this has got the GPS antenna. Depending on the model that you buy, they come with, so that'll be the camera input. They come with 4G capability with a SIM card, so you'll have a SIM card cable there, and then you'll also have another antenna for the 4G, 5G, depending on the model, and you'll have another antenna for Wi-Fi, etc., etc. So it depends on the model you get, and it depends on how many features you get with it. Okay, so this one here's a mid-range as far as memory, but this is all made to fit. Okay, so that's it. It fits straight in there, and it looks Mickey Mouse. Okay, from that point we then screw it back using the screws supplied straight into the fascia, and then you can see all our connections. So we've got our main power connection there, and we've got all these auxiliary connections and the antenna. That's the antenna connection. This one down here is the GPS antenna. So you can see there's a little hole there. Other units would have Wi-Fi, etc, etc. Okay, so you can get them with fans and all sorts of stuff. All right, I'm going to screw this in and load it up and show you how all the cables connect. Okay, so here we've got everything plugged in. So the harness that comes with the fascia, this can plugs into that harness, and that's the other end of the harness, which will plug into the car. You've also got this black harness here, which is the same as the plug for the that comes with the head unit. Okay, so if you just put this in any other car, then you'd have to wire these for the speakers and the power and whatever else. Okay, so here you've got a whole stack of different connectors here. Okay, this one here comes with the head unit, and that's all your audio outputs, subwoofer control, amplifier control, and you have a video output, which is this one, so you can run additional monitors. Okay, there's another input there. This plug here is also connected to the fascia harness, so that's got to do with vehicle specifics. And then here is USB and USB. Okay, so there's a 4-pin USB and a 6-pin USB that come with it. So they're all different. You can't fit any of these in the wrong hole. Okay, this is the USB that came with the head unit, so it's a 4-pin. So I may have to pull that 4-pin out and put this one in. I'm not sure until I get it out. Okay, the other thing we've got is the antenna. Okay, so the radio antenna plugs into there. This will plug into the car harness, and then we've got our GPS antenna. Okay, now there's no hidden screws anywhere on this. It's just going to be, give it a really hard yank and pull it out. All right, as you can see here, it doesn't lip in behind here, and it doesn't lip in behind this top panel. Okay, so this all should just pull straight off, and I'll try and get it loosened up and then show you pulling off. Okay, I was able to get in here and lever it so I could get underneath, and now it's just a matter of trying to free up all the clips around it. They're hard to get off. It's not made to be pulled on and off. But it's not impossible. But yeah, they're all just clips. Alright, so that's the fascia off. This air vent came out, which is convenient because I can put that straight into here, like so. You can see here there's just little tabs on the sides. Alright, so this side's already released, so I just have to pop off this side. So, yeah, I'm going to need 2 hands, so there we go. Didn't break, thank fuck. Okay, so I'll clip that back into there. This part here is as good as rubbish. Obviously we'll keep it and leave it with the car. Some cars have little white, yellow, pink, blue plastic tabs on here that you need to pop off. Others have these metal tabs, okay, and they stay in the car and it clips back into those. Alright, so depending on the car, depends on what you might have to do. You might have to pull some clips over. Now the head unit is held in here, looks like maybe 8mm screws. Okay, you can see here the screws here for this part for the air conditioning controls, so this has to stay on. it just unclips from everything. So this goes underneath the fascia, so you can't take that off. So this part here has to come off before you have to disassemble anything else, which is convenient for us, obviously. So I'm going to grab a gun and an 8mm, and we'll rip these out and get rid of this head unit. Right, got a screw gun with a socket adapter on it. It's actually a 7mm. Okay, 7mm screws. 4 of them we'll pull out. Trying to get them lost in the dash. Okay, and then this whole thing just slips out. Alright, so we have our plugs on the back. This is our main power harness, this is an auxiliary harness, and this is our Farkler connection for our radio. Alright, so just little push tabs, push them in, pop them out. It's just a carryover tab. Alright, so this one here, you pop and you squeeze it back out, alright, and it slides the whole thing out. And then this one, you can see there's a little clip there. That's it, pop that out. There's our head unit free. Put that aside. Now we've got our connections here, okay? So you can see that's the USB connection, all right, that we're talking about. So we do need to change that over. So we'll come back to here. We've got our 4-pin USB, which is this one here. Little push tab. Release that, get it out of the way. Get our new one. Pop it in there. Alright, make sure it's not going to unplug. And then from here, really, it's connect that, connect that, connect that. Job done. Clip it all in. Pretty bloody simple, eh? The only thing is, we have an additional thing. We're going to run a reverse camera. Okay, so we'll get this together. We'll sit it in place and start it up, and then I'll do the reverse camera. Okay, so I'll just pop this cover up a bit, and I stuck my GPS antenna here, which is on the top of the vent duct. Alright, and then there's a little gap here. I'll drop the cable down, comes out down here, so then everything's all together. I can just clip that together. Alright, so we'll just reassemble this. Okay, bam, 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 a couple of clips, and I'm going to run the cable for the reverse camera. Alrighty then, so we're going to run this reverse camera cable. So I've mentioned it in other videos, but we'll go through it again. Okay, so I'll pull this pillar trim off, okay, just the rubber seal. Hey mate, pull this rubber seal off.
Daddy, guess what I have? Taking cheese.
Right, so we're going to run from the head unit. We can duck in through here. I've pulled this panel off under the steering column. Alright, so it's just 2 screws down the bottom here, and then it's just a couple of clips and it pops off. So we've got access here, which goes up into our, you can see my fingers up there. Alright, so pretty easy to get through there. Run the cable through here, around here. We're going to come through this side here. Alright, push it in up around here. Now at this point we need to get past the airbag. Okay, so in this trim you'll see up here there's a white thing in there, but that's the airbag. Alright, so don't go anywhere near that. But anyway, we're going to get across the other side there, up here, tuck it in here at the front, and then we'll pull this out, which most of the time they just pop out, which is pretty simple. Okay, we'll tuck our cable up there, you can see through the little windscreen there, and then we will have this bad boy here. which is a piece of yellow tongue from a tongue and groove board, which is running through the ceiling and out the back there. All right, very quick, very easy. So I've got our cable through here. It's running through under here. I've already put this trim back on. It's coming out through here, up through here. And you can see in behind there, there's actually no airbag through the pillar, okay? So that's all good. And then we're just gonna tuck this cable up here. All right, but all this can go back on, so I'll get all that back together in a sec. And we'll tuck it through. So I'll just set it up on the dash while I was mucking around there. And now I can get this through to the back. Righto, that's all back together. Cable's all tucked up there, you can't see it anywhere. Comes out here, taped on there. Okay, Porsche, give it a pull. And then twist it. Twist it.
He's coming.
Just coming out the bottom there now.
Huh?
It's coming out the bottom there now. Whoa, don't pull that down like that. Okay, okay, thanks. Okay, pull a little bit more. That's it. Thank you. Righto, so at the back here, we've got our cable sitting through here. Just pop this trim off, pillar trim, and then I'll drop the cable in through the back here, up in the back, and there's a pathway up there to that harness there. So I'll probably drop down a tongue through here, so I can pull it out down here and tape our cable on and pull it through. And it's just going to feed through here. The easiest thing is going to be to try and tuck it up, pull the cable out here, and then we'll have to try and feed around in through here up into the bottom of this trim. Alright, so I haven't looked at this just yet. Usually there's a few screws. There may be a screw here and behind this part, but I think it's all just going to clip up. So this little cover plate here might be holding something. So anyway, I'll look further into it and we'll get that out. And then this boot garnish will have to be unscrewed because we've got to come in behind it. So if there's a gland there, we'll come through the gland, which there could be because we've got obviously our number plate lights and our switch here. And we're going to mount our camera here somewhere. Right, we might put it here. It's always better if it's close to the center. So we'll put the camera there and then join it all up. Okay, so we've got our backup camera connected up here. All right, in the back of the head unit, and then I've joined it on. So this, because it's got the CAN decoder, I've joined this power onto here. Okay, and that'll feed our camera from the front here rather than the opposite way around, where usually you tap off the reverse light and that powers up to here to switch the head unit to reverse. Okay, this tells the head unit to switch to reverse through the CAN bus system. Okay, so we've got that through. I just like to tape it so it doesn't come loose. We've got our GPS antenna connected already, so we can now look at connecting all our bits and pieces. So we'll start with the longest ones and work our way in. All right, this USB, I'm going to tuck that out just behind the glove box. Okay, when we get closer to that point, we're not ready. So we've got our Farkler connection, our main power harness, and our other USB. So this is the only three things that we need connected. All right, everything else is already there, already connected. So we'll bring it over and just slip them all together. Okay, so a USB is a little bit short. It's plenty long enough, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit short and it doesn't clip, okay? So I'll put a bit of tape around that so it doesn't accidentally come out. The Farkler connection clips in and this all clips in, okay? So just push it together. There's a bit of cable slack. I'm gonna coil up there for the GPS antenna and the reverse camera, and then I'll push this USB out and this can all sit back. Righto, she's all fired up. It's not clipped in yet. We'll test run it first. Righto, so getting set up. I've connected our Wi-Fi. Navigation, you can choose what maps and whatever you want to use. Display details, auto brightness will change the brightness level when you turn the headlights on and that sort of thing. And then key lights automatic, so these will come on and off with the headlights. You can change the wallpaper, the backdrop. So now reverse camera, okay, so we've got auto detection. If I change this, so when I got the head unit, it was set to AHD 1080p, right? 25 is the 25 frames per second. Now, if I turn this on, looks all scrambled, so we can go back to the settings, select the format, and here on this particular camera, we want N format, CVBS, N format. It'll reload itself, and then there we go. Okay, so the guidelines are on the camera. Some cameras have a loop that you can cut to get rid of those guidelines. This camera does not. So in the settings, I've had to set that to close without display. That means that there's no guidelines. So follow up, all right, is supposed to be connected to the steering wheel. So when you turn the wheel, the guidelines curve, okay? This car is not set up for that, okay? Although it does have CAN bus, it doesn't have yaw sensors, so it doesn't know which way the steering wheel's turning to be able to give you that option, okay, with the HD camera. So still is just straight, okay? Follow up is where they curve with the steering wheel, and then close without display because we've got them on the camera and we can't turn them off, okay? Radar, so you can have parking sensors connected and that sort of thing. All right, so we don't have parking sensors. We don't need the mirror. Mute the radio, so it'll turn the music down while you're reversing. Just a good safety feature. And then you've got all the front camera details, okay? So if you have the front camera connected, we do not. Another thing I should mention too is this particular unit, even though the one had been labelled CVBS1, that did not connect to the reverse camera, okay? So the single tail that was by itself was the reverse camera on this head unit. Some of them are different. This is why I checked this before I put it all back in. All right. So, and then with this system, they've actually given you the signal strength. So it's a little booster built into it, which is pretty good. For the most part, these are pretty good units and they actually pick up pretty well. Radio antenna set power supply, not required on this head unit. And then FM area selection. Okay, so this is the frequencies that your area will tune to. So I don't know if you remember, if you used to buy Japanese imports, if you have a look, Japanese radio frequencies are 76 to 90 with 100 kilohertz step. All right, so we could only get, you know, 1 or 2 channels over here in Australia. So we use the same as the European and most of the Americas. Okay, so we go to 108, but there's not really anything up there. So 107.9 is fine. Americas is 87.5, and so we start at 88 and go to 108. All right, so these are further than we go. That's fine, and then it's up to you whether you choose. See, this one here's Western European, Eastern European is the same frequencies and the same frequency step, 50 kilohertz. Okay, these ones are 200 kilohertz, and this is 100 kilohertz. We're going 50 kilohertz steps. So we'll select that. Now we've got some tunes because we were out of band before. Let's just turn that down. Okay, and then the other settings we've got here is just basic stuff, date and time. We are not Greenwich Mean Time. Oh, here we go. Auto detect, we'll turn that off and then back on and see if it reconnects, because we're plus 11 at the moment. So let's just turn that off. Oh, hang on. Yeah, turn that off. Turn auto date and time off. Auto time zone will turn off. So now we've set our location, and it's an overcast day today, and I'm in the garage, so you know, the GPS signal's probably not picking up real well. But yeah, you would be able to, typically this would already be programmed ready to go because it's already set up to automatic date and time and automatic time zone. All right, so if I go auto date time, then that brings up the time and date automatically, which is not correct. It should actually sync through our Wi-Fi, but anyway, I'll sort that out later. Keys, this is where your radio controls come in, okay? Steering wheel keys, learn. Select the function on the screen. All right, so I'm gonna do answer call. I'm gonna press this button. Select the button on the steering wheel to start learning. Phone pickup. Okie dokie. So we've set it up. We've got a local radio station programmed in, so that's all good. And then we now have, let's just clear some of this stuff. Clear all. All right, so back to our home screen. I'm going to connect my phone. Now all you have to do on the phone is just go into your settings, go to Bluetooth, find the unit. It will come up with a pairing code. You can go into, oh, not the settings, sorry. Exit that. Apps. This is the applications that are set up in the head unit. So you've got AV import, you've got auxiliary imports, all that sort of thing. So your radio, so basically everything's an app throughout the system. So you can, there's a hard drive built into the head unit, so you can upload your own music and videos and all that sort of thing. Okay, then you've got Bluetooth music, Bluetooth phone. So you can go straight into that and show that it's discoverable, turn it on, and then you can connect to the head unit. Okay, so pin number here, so see the number, the device name, that's the pin number. But what will actually happen if you don't use this method, you can go onto your phone, it'll come up with a pin code, and to match the same as what comes up on the head unit, except it'll tell you, it'll give you the option to sync contacts, allow, deny, whatever you want to do, and then it will automatically start. It'll go into this R-Link on this model. R-Link is your wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. Okay, so automatic. It's quick, sorts it out, and it's just done. Okay, so there's heaps of different things here because it's got Wi-Fi and everything too, so you can connect your phone via Wi-Fi. Well, mind you, when you're connected via CarPlay, it's connected via Wi-Fi and it won't data sync, so you can't watch YouTube and that sort of thing if you do it that way. But you've got options to be able to just connect via Wi-Fi to the unit as an access point, and watch YouTube, surf the internet, do whatever you want to do. Okay, it's basically a mini computer. All right, so this DSP, this is your digital signal processor. This little thing down here, sound field, is where your sound field is. Okay, so you've got different modes here, or you can just drag it and move it around yourself. So obviously make sure that left and right work, front and rear work, and everything's the right way around. And then from there you're good to go. Okay, so I showed you how to alter the rear view camera if required. I showed you how to check your the other thing here actually is worth noting, if you've got a subwoofer band here, you can actually alter. That's fucking terrible. You can alter this. It's just a touch, it's not a drag. Yeah, so you can alter that if you've got a subwoofer connected and you're using the sub output. You can use this to change the level of the subwoofer. Then you've got surround sound for the different effects that you can do, and then you've got soundstage on the side here, so you can select all their different ones, or you can go a custom one and save your own. You can just automatically change this, it's not a problem. So this actually sounds pretty good. So I'll connect my phone, use one of my shitty songs, and show you what it sounds like. And here it is with the R-Link connecting.